Coming up next, a major change for a Pennsylvania healthcare company's future.
Plus, how a unique education program is empowering young women to accomplish their dreams.
And an annual Penn State Music Festival is getting ready to start later today. The Center County Report starts now. I'm AJ Sisson.
And I'm Natalie Calzatoni. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, a major change for a Pennsylvania healthcare provider. Geisinger will be acquired by California-based Kaiser Permanente. Geisinger is based in Danville and operates facilities in the State College area, including Grays Woods and Scenery Park. Kaiser will combine with Geisinger to form a new company called Risant Health that would operate a nonprofit community health system. Geisinger is expected to keep its name, and the company says no layoffs are expected, and it will claim there will be no impact on patients.
In other healthcare news, state lawmakers have sent a bill to the governor that they say will help patients afford additional screenings to diagnose breast cancer more quickly. Under the bill, health insurers must cover out-of-pocket costs for patients deemed at risk for breast cancer when they undergo a supplemental screening during a coverage year. Insurers must also cover patients' costs for genetic counseling and genetic testing for gene mutations that raise the risk of breast cancer if a person is diagnosed with breast or ovarian cancer or has a family history.
Jury selection is underway for the Pittsburgh synagogue murder suspects trial, and that process could take weeks. Robert Bowers is accused of shooting up the Tree of Life synagogue in 2018, killing 11 people. It is now a federal death penalty case. Experts say the trial itself could last until July.
An investigation is underway after the fourth inmate death in just 2 months at the Rockview State Prison in Bellefonte. The latest was a 46-year-old inmate found unresponsive in his cell last week. State police are investigating.
A planned residential and commercial development in Ferguson Township is no longer happening. The development along Blue Course Drive and Old Gatesburg Road had legal challenges since its approval. Supervisors have voted to rescind the 2019 conditional approval for the Pine Hall Traditional Town Development Master Plan. They say it's because the developer who applied for it no longer has any equitable interest in the property.
Graduation season is here, and that means sky-high prices for hotels and rentals anywhere near State College. According to the Penn State advising offices, nearly 10,000 students will graduate this spring. With those numbers, hotels and restaurants have trouble keeping up with demand. I took a trip downtown to see just how quickly people jumped on this graduation weekend. It's graduation weekend for many colleges across the country. Here in Happy Valley, if you don't have restaurant reservations, it may be too late.
We opened them up in January, usually the first week of January. They were full within, a week.
For most of the hotels in town, they fill even more quickly.
So I believe last year we opened on right around May 10th. We opened up virtually full inventory, and we did sell out in about 8 minutes.
Well, just a couple of days after graduation, in the Hyatt right behind me, rooms will open up, but families will search for them and sell them out just like that. But that doesn't stop those same families from paying the premium price.
Average room rates in the town, I believe right now, range between $700 to, I believe, $1,300 per night, and it's usually a 2-night minimum.
Families are left with little options to avoid the costs, forcing them to search for hotels as far away as neighboring counties. But even those hotels fill up fast. The story for restaurants is the same. The Tavern, like other popular places in town, are already booked for a 4-day weekend. For a town that's accustomed to football weekends in the fall, the rush of people is expected.
There's not a long, our bussers are bussing quickly in order to flip the table. So it's a very different type of experience than a football weekend. It's more of an organized chaos.
Graduation ceremonies are set to begin here next Friday. Families looking to come for graduation next spring need to be on those websites to book their reservations in about 2 weeks.
And experts say travelers should brace for a potential tough summer because of a shortage of pilots, crews, and air traffic controllers. Delta Airlines is suspending service to State College as of June 5th, and the FAA has asked major airlines to cut the number of flights nationwide and fly larger planes to ease traffic. It all comes as after travel demand has surged.
Like other airports our size, non-hub airports across the country, we're still suffering from the pilot shortage as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The FAA predicted 45% more delays this summer if nothing changes. The agency gave airlines until this weekend to decide their next moves.
Pennsylvania's primary election is coming up on May 16th. The last day to register to vote is this coming Monday. You can register online at vote.pa.gov or by mail or in person at your county voter registration office.
Some Penn State students had a chance to watch a national election in person this spring in Estonia. One of them was our reporter Hannah Markovich, who met the Prime Minister and took a closer look at how women hold key power positions in that part of the world. She also saw how Estonia also puts a key focus on young women.
In Estonia's oldest schools, young girls are chasing big dreams.
I want to be a doctor. Every time when I go out of this class, I knew something new.
Here, 8 to 14-year-olds are learning advanced technology lessons. They're part of a group called the HK Unicorn Squad. It's a nonprofit created to teach technology skills and applications. And there's one rule: only girls are allowed. Ironically, this girls-only initiative was created by a man. Tavi Kotka is an engineer and entrepreneur whose daughter Helena was kicked out of a robotics class because she was not as advanced as most boys in her class.
Obviously irritated because it's not only in Estonia, I think it's in all countries that girls are not having proper access to technology.
To prove the technological potential of Estonia's young women, Kotka founded the Unicorn Squad.
Today we can say that after 5 years later, almost 3,000 girls later, we can say we were right.
Lise Koser, a Unicorn Squad board member, was inspired to join the group because of her daughter's interest in technology.
A spark in this girl's eyes when they finally understand that technology isn't scary, that they don't scare anymore. And this is the best part, I think.
One afternoon at the Tallinn Cathedral School of Learning, Unicorn Squad students were greeted in the classroom with cinnamon buns and tea in their own customized mugs. While enjoying their treats, the girls attentively watched a tutorial video taught by Koser. The magic of the lesson starts inside the Unicorn Squad headquarters garage.
Boxes like these each contain a lesson for Unicorn Squad students to learn. Hundreds of these are sent across Estonia. Today's lessons for students here in Tallinn: how to put up and use a green screen.
Anu Masso's daughter Anne is one of the students. She's been interested in technology since first grade, so Anu did everything she could to help Anne dream big.
Like a mission to support my child who really had passion in this kind of things.
Though the Unicorn Squad has impacted almost 3,000 girls, women still struggle to obtain equality. Estonia, like many other countries, has a gender gap in the workplace.
In Estonia and around the world, a lot of the boys are dealing with programming, but quite often girls are left behind, and that's the reason they're not getting jobs in technology and programming.
Girls are about 1.5 years behind from boys, and it's not fair to teach them together.
But women in Estonia are now breaking gender barriers by holding more prominent and powerful roles, like the nation's first woman Prime Minister, Kaja Kallas, who was just re-elected to a second term in March.
I've always said the principle that you do what you love and you will be good at it. So discover your strengths and work on your strengths, because there you can become #1 in the world.
Kallas is a role model for women across the country, and there are others. Annika Aris, CEO and founder of Milton New Nordics Consultancy, knows what it takes to build a company as a woman.
I think traditionally we have used to seeing men wearing suits and tie, and this is in power, and this is the image of a leader.
Aris believes if more women become role models, the perception of how a politician looks and acts like will change for the future.
To empower means you empower every day. It means that you don't say that there isn't a problem. The door is open for women all the time. Well, I'm sorry, it's not open all the time. If you see that a woman is not stepping up, then you need to empower them to do that step.
Women in positions like Aris and Kallas inspire girls here to keep dreaming big, girls like the Unicorn Squad.
But I really think I want to do something that is in technology, and because of my father and the school.
In Tallinn, Estonia, I'm Hannah Markovich for the Center County Report.
You can see that story and our entire Center County Report in Estonia special next month.
We'll get those umbrellas out. You'll need them this upcoming weekend. We check the forecast coming up.
Plus, see how Penn State is doing at the NFL Draft. Also coming up.
I'm Alexis Yoder, live on Penn State's campus, where one of the nation's largest student-run music festivals kicks off later today. We'll have more after the break.
Penn State's end-of-year student-run music festival called Movin' On starts this afternoon at University Park. Reporter Alexis Yoder is there with the latest on the festival's setup. Alexis?
Thanks, AJ. Actually, they've already started doing sound checks here behind me at the IM Fields. Oh, here goes the sound again as they continue those sound checks. And in just a few hours, the fields here along Park Avenue will be filled with students for this one-day concert festival. It's known as one of the biggest student-run music festivals in the nation.
The setup has been going on since midweek for Penn State's Movin' On Festival.
We start on the Wednesday before Movin' On, and then we work all Thursday, and then Friday morning before gates open.
The annual concert brings students together to mark the end of the spring semester. It's now in its 48th year and is known as one of the largest student-run music festivals in the country. Some big names have played here over the years, from Wiz Khalifa and Fall Out Boy to Jack Harlow and Fitz and the Tantrums.
One goal is to send off graduating seniors. That's kind of in our name, like Moving On. Our other goal is to create a lineup that tries to satisfy most of the Penn State community and is diverse in genre.
Jack Harlow headlined the event last year. This year's lineup includes Mellow Honey, Upsall, Neon Trees, and Coin. JID is the headliner. Organizers say finding performers is a year-long effort.
Basically, we start pretty much right after the previous Moving On, thinking about the next year, and we, as an executive board, compile a long list, as long as we can, just ideas thrown out throughout the summer. The adults that help us are like super imperative to our success. They have all the connections in the industry.
From genre to finances, Movin' On considers many factors as it starts assembling its lineup.
Once those different decisions are made based on a lot of different factors, budget as well, then we make different offers. We start with headliner, and then we go direct support and third spot, and then SPA donates our opener, and then we do the student band from Battle.
If you're coming here this afternoon, keep in mind you must be 18 years or older to attend. And if you're driving, expect traffic backups and delays later today and tonight. And the Moving On officials I spoke with earlier this week said the festival will be held, rain or shine. And as I mentioned before, they've already started doing sound checks here behind me on the IM Field stage. Live in University Park, I'm Alexis Yoder. Now back to you.
Thanks, Alexis. Stay dry out there. And the Penn State Student Farm is hosting its 9th annual plant sale this afternoon in University Park at the Tyson Greenhouses on Curtin Road. This event will feature more than 100 varieties of vegetables, herbs, and flowers, along with 21 tomato species and 26 native plants. You're encouraged to come equipped with boxes to transport any plants home. Only payments made by cash or check are accepted.
I look forward to the plant sale this year because Student Farm puts countless hours into making sure everything is ready for us. It's all ready for sale, it looks presentable, and it's just something that I look forward to every year.
The plant sale runs until 5 p.m. today. Now, a check on the weather.
Well, if your mood is low today, take this to blame. We have very dreary conditions here in Happy Valley and at Beaver Stadium. I'm currently tracking some rain showers where currently things are looking pretty cool right now, 48 degrees with an east wind at about 10 miles per hour. Looking across the Commonwealth, you can easily see, if you look closely, we're seeing wind barbs come off the Atlantic Ocean from the east and making way for some very cool, humid, and damp conditions throughout the Commonwealth. And to go along with that, we have some rain that I'm tracking as well. It's moving through western central PA and throughout eastern PA as well throughout the rest of our day. But it's not just that I'm tracking, it's much of the eastern half of the United States that are getting in on that rain activity here along the upper Great Lakes and towards the Outer Banks regions of the U.S. Those low pressures are going to come together and impact our weather, especially over the weekend and even into early next week. So let's time your day out. If you're heading on to the Moving On Festival, the gates open again at 3:30 this afternoon. Bring the ponchos because it's going to be a wet one, and again, cool, damp, and turning blustery throughout the day as well. The rain sticks around for us through this evening, so if you're heading out downtown, keep the umbrellas and rain jackets on hand. But overnight, we start to taper off the rain showers, but we can't get rid of those clouds as a lot of us go down for around 50 degrees overnight. And then through the day tomorrow, we actually may make some breaks for some sunshine before another round of rain comes early in the day on Sunday morning. So I can't rule out a few rumbles of thunder to wake us up early Sunday. Sunday, however, is going to be a very big day in terms of rainfall, especially in the eastern half of the Commonwealth, where I can't rule out the threat for some potting on the roadways, where some areas could pick up quite a bit of rain. So let's track how much rain we're going to see through the day today, anywhere from a quarter to a half an inch for the better half of the state for us. But heading into tomorrow, we continue to see some rain showers, but the bulk of our precipitation comes through on Sunday, where areas east of State College could flirt with anywhere from 2 to say 4 inches of rain. So to recap the forecast for us here in State College today, we're going to keep it dreary and cool with the high near 52 degrees. We don't go down too far tonight, however. We'll keep the showers in place and go down for a low near 47. And then for tomorrow, we may break for a few peaks of sunshine, otherwise scattered showers in the area with the high in the upper 50s. And then getting our way into the weekend, we start looking for some heavy rain, especially by Sunday, and then we take a dive down into the 50s and upper 40s through early next week. But I see some light at the end of the tunnel towards graduation with some clearing skies.
Thanks, Kyle. It's unfortunate about the weather, but I did recently buy a rain poncho.
Oh, good for you. And I'm happy that next weekend is actually get some rain or shine. But speaking for this weekend, Anna, can you tell us anything with sports?
Yep, coming up in sports, the NFL draft is underway. But a Penn State player's expected first-round selection did not go as planned. And Penn State men's lacrosse team is preparing for the Big Ten tournament. We'll have more after the break. I'm Anna Camden with sports. It's day 2 of the NFL draft, and some Nittany Lions could hear their names called today. This was the first draft in 3 years that no Penn State player was taken in the first round. Joey Porter Jr. was expected to be picked last night, but that didn't happen. The Big Ten, though, was well represented as 9 players were selected last night. For more on what's happening out in Kansas City, here's a Penn State Com Radio reporter, Adam Sheets.
Welcome here in Kansas City for the NFL Draft. I am Adam Sheets. An eventful first round here saw many players taken, 3 quarterbacks taken in the first 4 picks. No Penn State players taken in the first round. Penn State expected cornerback Joey Porter Jr. to potentially go. He did not, falling to the second round. However, we could see Joey drafted as early as pick 32 to the Pittsburgh Steelers here in Kansas City tomorrow, Friday night, for the round 2 of the NFL draft. Penn State could also see Jair Brown drafted as well. The safety for Penn State had the most interceptions coming into this draft at the safety position. Expect to see his name called tomorrow here from Kansas City. Round 2 starts tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock on Com Radio. Tune in. Reporting in Kansas City for the Center County Report, I am Adam Sheets. Back to you, Anna.
Thanks, Adam. Back on campus, Penn State men's volleyball is looking to chase a ring in the NCAA tournament. The Nittany Lions punched their ticket into the field of 7 with their EIVA championship win over Princeton last weekend. Penn State won in straight sets to claim their 35th conference title. They await the winner of a play-in match between Ohio State and the King Tornadoes. Penn State men's lacrosse is getting ready for the Big Ten tournament after a 9-3 regular season. The Nittany Lions closed out the season with a 14-5 win over Rutgers on Senior Day. Kevin Winkoff led the way with a hat trick, and the win clinched Penn State a share of the Big Ten regular season title. They'll play either Michigan or Ohio State in the tournament next week after securing a first-round bye. And it's the off-season, but Penn State men's soccer is already gearing up for next fall. As the players leave for the pro scene, new faces are stepping onto Jeffrey Field. The team went 6-6-4 last year, and now that spring practice is in the rear view, the team's eyes are on the future. Coach Jeff Cook has plenty to evaluate this summer.
We feel excited that this group can really achieve a high level of performance on the field. So each team evolves, each group of players transitions into a new phase, and I'm hoping that we can be a much more mature group when we start in August.
The regular season schedule will be announced over the summer. There will be a new voice at Beaver Stadium this fall for the first time in 23 years. Longtime public address announcer Dean DeVore is no longer with Penn State Athletics. DeVore has been a familiar stadium voice for a generation of fans. His last event was the blue-white game, but athletics decided he won't return. And State High Baseball is back in action tomorrow against Williamsport at home. The Little Lions lost to Chambersburg 2-0 on Wednesday. It started off as a pitching duel, with neither starter allowing a run through the first 4 innings. Chambersburg first drew blood on the 5th when Chase Stinger found a gap in the infield and brought Joey Diaz home to take the lead. State High had a chance down 2 in the bottom of the 7th, but couldn't complete the comeback, and they fell to 6-7 on the season. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
For a team that's been so hot recently, we'll see if they can get back on track after this next game.
Agreed. I think it'll be a great matchup. And coming up next, an opportunity to scale down a stadium for charity. What's it all about? We'll tell you after the break.
4 years ago, United Way organized a fundraiser called Over the Edge, which gave people the chance to scale down the side of the Fraser Center in downtown State College. This spring, it's back, but on a much larger scale. On May 19th, up to 107 fundraising leaders will rappel down the side of Beaver Stadium. The money will go to 24 charities throughout Center County that focus on promoting health, financial stability, and education. If you'd like more information, contact the United Way.
AJ, can you believe it's the end of the semester?
It's been a great one. I'm excited to graduate, but sad to leave this amazing show.
I know, and that's all for today's newscast, and this is our final newscast of the semester. We're back in the fall with a new team.
But you can still follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report social media. You'll find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a great weekend.